The film starts with a captain whose clothes are covered in blood. He walks into a shop holding a broken monkey toy. The shopkeeper notices it and asks, "What happened to you? And why is this toy broken?" The captain replies, "Thank God it's not doing anything." But as soon as he says that, the monkey starts beating its drum, and strange things begin to happen in the shop. Like a rat biting a rope, things tied to the rope moved. Suddenly, an arrow shot out and hit the shopkeeper, killing him instantly before he could even scream. This showed that the monkey was cursed. Every time the monkey beat its drum, something terrible would happen. The captain, exhausted by this deadly game and fully aware of its curse, decided to burn the monkey. But even as it burned, the monkey let out a strange, creepy laugh. The captain, feeling hopeless, said, "I'm leaving a big problem for my children," as if he knew it wasn't truly over. The story then jumps forward to the year 1999, many years later. The twin brothers named Hal and Bill, the captain's sons. After their father's death, they lived with their mother. Because she was often busy with her work, the twins spent a lot of time together, growing very close. The twins were always curious about their father, but their mother never talked about him. One day, they decided to go through their father's old belongings. In one of the boxes, they found the same monkey toy we saw at the beginning of the film. There was a message on the box that read, "Turn the key to see what happens." Bell suggested they should try it out, and out of excitement, Hal turned the key on the monkey. But nothing happened. The monkey didn't move at all. They figured it must be too old and broken to work anymore. Thinking this, they left it behind and went on with their day. That day, Bell and Hal were supposed to go with their babysitter to a restaurant called Life's Kitchen, a place they were really excited to visit. But something strange happened. On the way to the car, Hal noticed the monkey toy already sitting inside. He was shocked because he clearly remembered putting it back in the box. Still, he didn't think much of it at the time, and they all left for the restaurant. While they were eating, Hal suddenly heard a strange, eerie sound. Hal was confused when he heard the sound of the monkey's drum, as it didn't make sense. He had left the monkey in the car, so how was the sound can be heard inside the restaurant? As he tried to think of it, something terrifying happened. A chef's knife suddenly flew through the air and sliced across the babysitter's neck, killing her instantly. Everyone around believed it was just a freak accident, but Hal knew deep down it wasn't an accident at all. Hal and Bell were left shaken and terrified, having witnessed their babysitter's horrifying death right before their eyes. Their mother took them to the babysitter's funeral and tried to explain the unpredictability of life, how no one knows when or how death will come. After the funeral, they all returned home. Hal went straight to the monkey toy, picked it up, and asked, "Are you behind all of this?" While he was talking to the toy, his brother Bell walked in and started teasing him. Hal then told Bell everything. The monkey somehow got from the box to the car, and he heard the drum beat right before their babysitter died. But Bell didn't take it seriously. He laughed at Hal and even spread the story around school the next day. Soon, everyone was making fun of Hal, calling him crazy and mocking his belief in the cursed monkey. Frustrated and angry, Hal went home, filled with anger. He looked at the monkey, turned its key, telling him to kill his brother. Hal didn't know what to expect after turning the key, but something terrible happened almost immediately. While their mother was cooking, she suddenly began bleeding from her eyes, ears, and nose, then collapsed and died on the spot. Doctors later said she died from a cerebral hemorrhage, but Hal knew the truth. Deep down, he believed it was because he had turned the monkey's key with the wish to harm his brother. He hadn't meant for his mother to die, but now he was drowning in guilt. Devastated and furious, Hal returned home in a fit of grief and rage, smashed the monkey toy into pieces. But the next morning when Hal woke up, he was stunned. The monkey was back, perfectly intact, sitting as if nothing had happened. Meanwhile, Bell was in a state of deep shock. He couldn't process the loss of their mother. The grief was too heavy for both of them. On the third day, their uncle arrived to take them in. With both of their parents gone, the boys now had to live under someone else's care. After moving into their uncle's house, Hal was overwhelmed with guilt. The weight of what he did and what he believed he had caused was unbearable. He needed to tell Bell the truth. Hal finally had the courage to tell everything to Bell. He said, "It was the monkey's drum that caused Mom's death. It's my fault. I turned the key out of anger, and every time the monkey is wound up, someone dies." Bell didn't believe a word of it. He laughed and said, "All right then, if that's true, prove it." Desperate to make his brother believe him, Hal turned the key once more, without fully thinking through what might happen or who could be next. As soon as Hal turned the key, the scene shifted to their uncle, who was out riding a horse. Suddenly, he lost control and fell. Before he could get up, several horses trampled over him, and he died right there. Shaken and scared, Bell made a decision. He took the monkey, carefully placed it back in its box and made up his mind to keep it far away from both of them. Belle threw the monkey toy into a deep well, believing it was gone for good. The story then jumps ahead 25 years later. Now we see Hal as an adult, working quietly as a storekeeper in a shop. He had completely cut off all contacts with his brother Belle. One day, Hal asked his manager for a leave as because something inside him felt uneasy, like the past was catching up. He needed to go see his son Pete, who lived with his ex-wife. He received a shocking news while there. Hal and his ex-wife started taking legal action over Pete. This meant that Hal would not be able to spend any more time with his son. These were his final 2 days. So he decided to spend as much time as possible with his son. That night, they stayed at a quiet roadside motel. As they settled in, Pete, full of curiosity, asked, "Dad, do you have a brother?" Hal froze for a moment. The memories of Belle came rushing back. His face, their childhood, the horrors they faced together. But after a pause, Hal forced a small smile and lied, "No, I don't have a brother. I've always lived alone." He didn't want Pete anywhere near that part of his past. Here the scene cuts to the house where Hal and Belle once lived after their parents died. They had stayed with a kind woman who took care of them, but tragedy had followed them. Her husband had also died, right after the monkey's key had been turned. Now, years later, their aunt lives alone in that same house. One quiet evening, she hears a strange noise, like someone has entered her home. Alert and uneasy, she grabs her gun and steps out of her bedroom. She felt like someone is in the basement, and as she walks down the basement stairs, she suddenly hears the sound of a drum. The stairs under her feet collapsed. The glass floor below shattered, and she fell, getting badly injured. Small pieces of glass and wood got stuck in her face. Just then, she noticed the smell of gas. She quickly ran to the kitchen, and as she leaned closer to the stove to check, but there was suddenly a spark and her whole face got burned. She was screaming as she burned and came out of the house, confused, not knowing what was happening, as she walked toward the signpost in front of the house. When she got too close, a sharp metal edge at the base of the sign struck her head with brutal force, and she died there on the spot. At the same time, Hal was sleeping in a motel room and having a nightmare. In the dream, he saw his mom looking very scary, as well as the monkey. As soon as he saw it, he got scared and quickly stood up. Then he noticed that his phone was ringing something that hadn't happened in years. He answered the call, and it was Belle. Belle gave him a bad news that the monkey had returned and was causing chaos again. It was a big problem, and they had to find a way to stop the monkey. But then, two of them started arguing about who would find and stop the monkey. While they were talking, Hal heard a strange noise coming from the air conditioner near the pool. Suddenly there was a spark. The air conditioner got thrown far away, and its wire snapped and fell into the pool. And as the girl jumped into the pool, she died because of the strong electricity. Seeing this, Hal got even more scared and realized that the monkey had become more dangerous than before. Now, just by saying the monkey's name could cause destruction. So Hal decided to leave the house again to avoid any trouble. But Pete had one last wish, that he wanted to visit Hal's old house where Hal used to live with his aunt. Hal felt that he should fulfill Pete's last wish, so he took him to his aunt's house. There they saw that after his aunt's death, all her belongings were being sold at the auction. Among them was a toy monkey, which a boy ended up buying. On the way, Hal remembered his past, how much he missed his dad, and wanted to be close to him, but his mom never allowed it, and he always felt that distance. While Hal was lost in these thoughts, an agent woke him up and gave him a shocking news that strange things were happening in the town they had come to. One by one, people were dying in unusual accidents. Hearing this, Hal was shocked. He realized that the monkey toy must be in this town. After hearing all this, Pete found out that his dad has a brother. Now, Hal knew he had to find that monkey toy, so he went to the storeroom where all the unsold auction items were kept. He believed that anything from his aunt's house that wasn't sold would be stored there. He asked the agent if a monkey toy had been a part of the auction, but she couldn't remember clearly. So she opened the storeroom for Hal and began helping him search for the toy. As soon as the agent opened the cabin, a shotgun hidden inside fell and went off. The shot hit her, and she died there on the spot. Right after her death, the sound of the monkey toy drums echoed through the storeroom. That's when Hal realized that Belle was already in this town, but for some reason he wasn't coming to meet him. Hal called Belle and threatened him, demanding to meet him. But when Belle refused, Hal began tracking his location. Then we're shown Belle's house, where it becomes clear that Belle had very dangerous intentions. The big twist was that the monkey toy Hal had been searching for all along was actually with Belle. Belle had kept the monkey toy with him, treating it like an important friend, almost as if they shared a special bond. Belle had set traps all around his house because he knew that Hal would eventually come to meet him. He was waiting not to talk, but to take revenge. Bell believed that all the pain in his life was because of Hal. He blamed Hal for everything, and now he felt completely alone in the world. The scene shifts to the past, showing the moment when the two brothers, Hal and Bill, had buried the monkey toy underground together. Later, Bell secretly went back to dig it up, but when he got there, the monkey toy was gone. All he found was the key to the toy. From that day on, he kept searching for it, and after all those years, he finally found the monkey toy. He had actually gotten the monkey toy from his aunt's house, buying it from another man. But later, when he saw that Hal and his son Pete were at the same house, he decided to take action. He scared Pete with a gun, ordering him to go inside and bring back the monkey toy. Hal knew that if the monkey toy ended up in the wrong hands again, something terrible would happen. He also warned Pete not to put the key into the monkey toy by mistake, or it would cause destruction. Then we see Pete going to Bell's house, and when he got there, Bell gave him the monkey toy. But Pete didn't know anything about how dangerous it was, so Bell forced Pete to turn the key on the monkey toy. And as soon as Pete turned the key, outside, the man's gun suddenly went off. But surprisingly, the bullet didn't hit Hal instead. It hit a beehive on the roof. The bees swarmed out and attacked the man's face, eventually killing him. Seeing this, Hal immediately understood that Pete had turned the key to the monkey toy. To stop everything, Hal rushed inside Bell's house. But as soon as he entered, a trap was triggered, and he got stuck. Seeing him trapped, Bell came over. A fight broke out between them, and during the argument, they both realized something. Even though they were trying to do the right thing, nothing was getting better. The monkey toy started playing its drums, which meant something bad was about to happen. As soon as the drums played, the roof of the house began to shake. Because of the shaking, one of the traps Bell had set fell on him and killed him. At the same time, the town was falling apart. Fires broke out, and everything started to get destroyed. Hal and Pete somehow managed to escape from the house. They decided to leave the town as well. Before going, they made a decision they would keep the monkey toy with them, so they could control any future destruction. As they were leaving the town, they saw a mysterious horseman. He was a sign of death representing that the town was being destroyed. But when he showed up, the destruction ended. After that, everything became quiet and peaceful again.